seeking hell, Jason. I'm here to return the favor. I feel betrayed, trapped in the grave. All alone, I rot in my own skin. So see as I stay, a choking restraint. The perfect flame laid down my own name. Hell's rising. Hell's rising. The scars remain, a deeper to see. A black field, blinded response. From here I cling to the ones that remain. Exile without reason. The time to kill us, the freedom we build this. We suffer, it's clear to blow. Prepare the power, strengthening the arm. And building the wall. Welcome to your demonstration.
People and things over there like something. Fall.
Hey, what's going on,
Yo.
everybody? What do you, 2025, look at this. We made it. Brand new year. First episode of the Spawn Review in 2025. And we are dropping the issue 3. There it is. Let me just hold this up for a second because my store never brings in any Brett Booth covers. So I don't have this cover yet. I had to buy it online. I'm waiting for it still.
Sick.
That's a beautiful cover. Beautiful. Yeah. Welcome, guys. You have a great New Year's?
Yes, pretty swell. Fantastic. How about you guys?
It was good. It's good.
Mine was swell as well.
Is that the word of the day? Swell.
I purposely wore this type of hat today to be different.
It's a hat. It's a hat stream, you know.
Yeah.
We're rocking the black hats here. As long as it's black, it works, you know.
Yeah.
I learned from this guy the word black hats.
Well, I had to. Once I started losing my hair, I was like, I gotta do something. It's like, the hat.
Oh, with great responsibility comes, or great power comes great responsibility. So I got to keep the hair on like limited engagements.
Right. Yeah. You only let it loose like, when you
Yeah.
need to. Yeah. No, I feel you. All right. So 360 came out. It took me a second to actually read it. I bought it tail end of last week. I was sick. If people didn't know, it was a little nasty, little head cold or something like that. So I finally got a chance to read it yesterday. And I gotta say, I loved it. That was great. Although I put it in the group that I am kind of confused because I have no idea where we're going with the story. Every time I think I have an idea of where we're going, where we're headed, you do something
can't wait to get into it then.
No, we're going to jump because I want to hear you guys' theories because I was kind of stumped like towards the end. It didn't end the way I thought it was going to end leading into 361. So we're definitely we're going to talk about it here because I want to see what you guys think. Before we go, first in the chat and first in our heart, and first of 2025, number 1, Mark Penguin, member of the channel. Happy New Year to the Spawn Review crew. Happy New Year to you, brother. Appreciate you. Dennis Kelly's in the house. Yo, brother. Good to see you. Member of the channel, Rick Sela. Yo, brother. Thank you for being here. Jeremiah Blackwell. He says, I got the YouTube notification this time and made it early. Hail, everyone. Hail to you, man. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Wiley J. Draws is in the house. Thank you for being here. We got the Cosmic Studio. Messed that up every time. Member of the channel. Great to see you, brother. We also have Christopher Bouchard's in the house. Thank you for being here. Well, if you guys don't know, Reaper Destroyer is going out. I do ask for a little bit of patience because it's a huge campaign. And it's taken a while to get orders out. Of the 1,260 orders I have to get out, I think we've sent out just over 100. So be patient. We're working as hard as we can to get those books out to everybody, but they are getting out there. What? No, I've got a stocking, or that's stocking cap.
Yeah.
No, that's not
Better looking version who wears wrestling shirts.
Yeah. But I mean, success wise, we'll take it. There we go. There's Rick jumping in. By the way, Rick? There is no Otten stuff this week. Sean is going to be off for a little bit. I have no idea how long. He's dealing with some personal issues, so he'll be back when he's back. But we are going to stream on Thursday. We're going to do an update stream on Reaper Destroyer. Rick's going to be involved, and we're going to talk about a bunch of things, including some pains in the butts when it comes to some of the things that are going on in the fulfillment process. Nothing major, but we'll update you guys on everything that's going on Thursday at 10 p.m. I think. I'll let you guys know. We also got pizza jumping in the house. Hell, brother, good to see you. All right. Before we get started, gonna go around. Let's start with the Gooch. What did you think of this issue, especially coming off of 359, with the way they kind of teased like this future event that was? Remember how that ended with the curse? He was all chained up and shit, and we were speculating if it was Spawn's chains, where the light was coming from, what the Lord reference was. Did you expect them to actually cover a little bit of that in this issue?
I thought this is one of, if not the smartest issue that McFarlane's ever written. This, if you've watched Shogun, and you I forget the main character, it's leaving me right now, but he was always 12 steps ahead. That's what I got out of this comic today, or what I read today. It is brilliant, absolute masterpiece in my opinion when it comes to Spawn universe. I was like, wow. And I don't know if you guys feel the same way, because I have my own theory on why he did what he did. So,
well, no, it's going to be interesting, because I do want to get in that, because it kind of threw me for a loop from what we were set up from the last issue. I thought we were going to be doing something a little bit different. So I was confused is the wrong word. Like, I was a little bit thrown for a loop when what actually happened. Great book. Like the issue was great. Fantastic. I loved it.
It's more of a why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Paul, what did you think?
I think it was similar to how like 350 was, but they were backtracking. So I'm assuming 359, that last page, is what we're going to get in 361.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's probably what's going to happen.
Loop that back in, but I thought it was awesome. I didn't see it coming. I thought it was had some really cool pages. Like, as soon as I read it, I texted you guys saying that there was a lot of cool artwork in here.
Yeah, it was.
And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought it paid off well from everything from the last 10 issues, and it made me excited for the next 10.
Let me give a shout out to the Core 20 that is in the chat. Great to see you guys all here, wherever you might be watching, whether it's YouTube, whether it's X. Appreciate you guys joining us here for the Spawn Review, episode 25. We are going to be looking at issue 360 that just hit the stands, and everybody liked this format a lot last time, so we're going to do it again. This kind of more digital,
I really like the
cover
version of it. Yeah. Well, this is the digital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you guys liked this a lot last time, so I was like, let's do it.
Yeah, it's easier.
So there were other covers. I mean, nothing that blew my skirt up as much as the Brett Booth cover right here.
Yeah. Oh.
I saw it too, and I'm surprised this isn't the cover A, especially with the writing on the bottom of it. Right? You know, for a cover C, there's usually not like the tags on it. This usually would be like a cover A thing, but I liked it. So
yeah, it was this one that my shop brought in.
Yeah, so they had that one too. I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah, it's not horrible. It's just, you know, like, come on. Brett Booth probably should have been the only one to do a cover for this issue, unless McFarlane was going to do one.
Or Capullo.
Capullo. That would have been fine too.
Yeah. I mean, Spawn has to have a certain artistic style to me, and it just, like, this is it. Like, this resonates with me.
And especially that it is Brett Booth, and you paid more money for it, allegedly, who knows? But, like, it should be the cover A. But, you know, who knows?
Well, like I said, I had to go online and order this cover specifically. I haven't got it yet, so it will
so fucking cool, man. It's like it's literally. I would love this as an 11x17. You know?
Oh yes. I mean, yes.
This should be a poster, 100%. YSA, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. All right, let's dive into this, because this was a very fantastic issue. So, like Gooch mentioned before, Todd McFarlane makes his mighty return to writing Spawn, which he'd been off of it for a while. McConville, I can't remember. I can never pronounce his name, but was doing the majority of the writing for the last 10 issues. I want to say maybe longer, just since I started reading. So, Todd McFarlane was back, and I was interested. I really wanted to see like how the flow of the writing would go from McConville, from what we have been reviewing on this channel, to McFarlane, because I really liked McConville's writing. I liked the flow of it. I liked how he paced everything. And I have to say, like, I really didn't notice too big of an issue. Like, I thought it went well. You know, the scene, it transferred very well, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. This is a great, like, different perspective. I thought it was cool. You know, it wrapped me up into something different. Like, I didn't know what to expect. I did get spoiled from someone's Instagram post, and I never get spoiled off Spawn. And I saw man. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And I was like, are you fucking for real right now? But excluding that, starting off with this, I thought it was super cool.
Oh yeah, I was hoping I could block the ads in the back. Oh well, no worries.
It just brings a gang mentality to the realms, like of hell and heaven and the blood and the vampires, right? It has this turf mentality, and they're fighting for Earth, and it's very grounded, and I really appreciate that. It's done really well, especially this part right here. Like, I know they're in hell, but they're like digging up a hole as you kind of scroll down, and they're just like trying to hide the bodies in a spot that so they won't be noticed or counted, which I was like, oh, this is a great start. This is what I want to see.
It's interesting. So like, I appreciated that we finally get a chance to see what's going on in hell, because we really haven't for the most part over the last 10 issues or so. But I thought it was even more interesting that there's an aftermath here of a war between. So is this an aftermath between the war of like 350, or is this something completely different?
Oh, these are hits. These are hits. They're hiding bodies that they've.
Okay, so this is a hit, and they brought them to hell.
They're hiding bodies.
Yeah. Okay. I
thought that it was a war that like they're just still fighting heaven and hell, and the heaven guys are going to go back and check like who's winning what, who's winning where. So I'm pretty sure they were talking about there was other troops coming around. No,
yeah, but they're doing hits along the way, and they're taking the bodies and they're hiding them, because in a war you just wouldn't care about the bodies. They're dead.
Yeah,
so like they're trying to hide the evidence, and then this creature here, like, you talk about just slick little things that you can do in a comic. This is like the bulldozer, like pushing bodies in the hole.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is so slick. Like, this is creative.
Really cool design.
Yeah, creativity to the max.
Well, it's like right off the bat too, that Tom McFarlane's back, because you got the dinosaurs that we kind of last saw on Gunslinger when Brett was there, and that was kind of Brett's thing. He wanted to draw some dinosaurs, so Todd threw that in with the writing, so that was the first thing I thought of when I saw this dinosaur here. And I was like, yep, Todd's back, got some dinosaurs right off the bat.
Yeah.
What's got the Don in the chat? What's going on, bro? This is hail all you beautiful Spawn lovers. Joe Gooch and the other guy, Toddy Mac, back on the writing. You can tell.
Yes.
Downshot is epic. Brett Booth never disappoints. Yeah, no, I agree. This was some great art in this. And this was just like, this was one double page spread of a few in here that were just fantastic.
Yeah, this one was a good way to start, and like I really like the color contrast and everything. It was super cool. So they're basically just like eliminating, and they also established that hell has way less dead than heaven.
Yeah.
So they're definitely winning whatever's going down.
So I just want to ask Paul, now that I mentioned that, does that make more sense to you? Like, does it like hit a little differently that like these guys were like taking out angels and part of the army without have a God in them knowing, and like trying to get rid of the evidence before, so they can have time to. Yeah. Okay. Because how you get a vision of the story, and then when someone says something, you're like, oh shit, that changes everything up.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, that brought a lot of insight to me too, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, did I miss something where they have been warring this entire time? But now that you mentioned that it was more of a hit, I guess I missed that within the actual script itself. But that makes so much more sense, that this is just kind of them burying the bodies. And it makes sense too, because a couple pages later, whatever this guy's name is, brings up the fact that, or the narrator brings up the fact that they're actually hiding it from God himself.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, because they do counts, and I guess they go like to realms and check where their angels are at, and in the time period you should be back.
Look at it, scooping it up. So cool. Like,
very inventive. Like, for a T-Rex, and it's got like the skull of an elephant or something, and he's just, or maybe it's it could be an elephant, could be a triceratops. And he's just, using it as a bulldozer. And I thought this scene was really badass too, just kind of showing the strength of this character, picking up this giant ass. Look at that boulder, just picking up this giant ass boulder.
I like their designs a lot too for these characters. Like every new character that I'm seeing, I'm like, wow, cool toy. So.
But like, it's simple things like that, like you mentioned, that you get to see, because we'll eventually see this character later on. We're guaranteed that. So you already understand the power that this guy already is demonstrating. No words, just let the artwork show it.
Yeah,
you don't have to sit there and give a long explanation of what he can do, what he can't do, and you're just seeing him right now just show his extreme strength.
Yeah, I just love the entire sequence here. You got the wide shot vertical or wide shot panels here that Brett is doing, allows a lot of small rendering, I guess you could say, small figure work, but you can really get the scope of everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to see, like, at first I was like, are these just, human, demons in hell? But you get a close up, you can actually see that their faces mess up. I was like, that makes a little bit more sense, because at first I was like, I didn't like the fact it was just going to be like, dudes that are in hell with armor on, because that's more of like a heaven thing. They look to me too much like angels without their faces being all messed up.
Well, and there's a new queen, right? So she's got creating her own army, right? So
that's a good point.
And she's putting it in the vision that she wants. So I'm sure every I guess the lead devil of whatever realm of hell they're in has their own way of grandiosing their armies and the way they want to portray things. So
that's a great point. I actually didn't even think about that she's recreated hell in her image.
Yes.
Not the hell that was Malbolgia before, and when it was like kind of a vacant throne. That's a good point. Great point. And we jump to Earth and we get Spawn talking to Lyra and kind of just going over. So now this is what kind of confused me. I probably should have gone back and read issue 359 to see whether these two characters were, because I thought they were kind of on the same page in the last issue.
But she doesn't want
begrudgingly following him.
She doesn't want to help heaven or hell because they killed their parents, and then she doesn't want to help the vampires because they're piece of shit people and they're just going to kill them anyways. So she's just like, I don't care about any of them except for just killing them.
Okay, because that's what I got. I thought they were still going, like she was going to still be like a team, like they were still going to kind of accomplish what they're going to do, because I mean her whole goal originally was to take out BLUDD regardless. Right?
Yes.
And so now it kind of seems like she's like almost against doing anything at all. I was kind of like Don said in the chat, it said it confused him. I was a little confused at what was going on, because we left issue 359. I thought they were going to start, okay, if everybody missed the last episode, because it's been a few weeks, I thought we were going to do this kind of more of a big epic war in this issue and in 361. I thought there was going to be like more of this like big, bring the Spawn universe in, get She-Spawn, Gunslinger, all these other characters are off in the other titles, and we were going to actually see like this big battle happen. And so thought it was interesting that they took it down to like a more grounded level, and they just focused on Al specifically, and they gave a reason, it seems like, where he wants to all of a sudden do this by himself, where I didn't feel like that was the case before. Are you catching what I'm saying there, or am I just confused on the entire thing?
That's what they want you to think. That's the beautiful thing about this writing, is like you're expecting this big epic finale. Oh, well, I'll wait till the end, because like I have my thoughts on it. But yeah, this artwork is so 90s, and it's so
it's flipping
amazing. I love this page. Oh.
Shout out to Chris, creator and artist of Writhe and Pain.
What's up, Chris?
Fantastic artist in the chat. Thank you for joining us, man. Let us know what you thought of this issue. Is she like Temu? Angela?
Temu.
What's a Temu?
Temu's like a discount brand, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sean and I were calling her not Angela or something. Like to us, this is the stand-in for Angela. We talked to Thomas Healy when he was on the show about it too. I was like, Angela was taken away from the universe. We all know why. Like, this is finally a character who can kind of come in and be like a stand-in Angela, but her own kind of feel.
In that Marvel video game too. So
yeah.
We'll see. I thought the arc was sick. They're showing that they're establishing like Curse doesn't give a shit about you and BLUDD wants you dead. Basically, like either way you're gonna lose, like scenario. She's trying to like talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hang on to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry if I cough every once in a while, guys. I'm still getting over this crud.
Dude, go in the sauna, dude.
Do the what?
The sauna? Sauna's really good for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know where this sauna at, but maybe. We'll see what happens. So it basically says, it says right there in that panel, so do what you need to do, and I will do the same. maybe we'll meet again. That's where I was kind of confused. I was like, all right, well, they had this whole build up where they were like, what issue was it where she's like, I will join your army, and then after that, you help me with it. So they had like this agreement, like I'll do this, then you do this.
There's a reason for it though. There's a reason for it, and you'll
and then we get swapped with the other redhead girl.
So when you
right there we go,
when you get to the end, when you get to the end, you can go back to that part. So I just anyway.
Okay, no, that's why I'm interested to see what you're saying, because there were parts of this issue that confused me, and like again, I should have probably gone back and read a couple of the other issues to get more on track, but I was just like, all right, I'm a little lost. I mean, I got the gist of it, and the issue was great, but I was a little lost in why all of a sudden we're doing this separation. Go ahead, Paul.
Let me get a funny one in. It says 40 minutes later, like, dude, my poor guy Al, no powers, sprinting, bro, through the fucking buildings, bro. And the first thing we see is him getting yelled at.
Getting yelled at.
It's a cardio day.
Yeah, dude, I'm not, no powers, guys, like parkouring off buildings. Dude.
Yeah, so
he's on the bus. Next stop. Okay, that's where I gotta go.
No, that would have been funny. So he's basically getting bitched out because he's just making this plan to go solo, and everyone, just like me, the reader, is like, I thought we had a plan. I thought we were gonna do this together. She Spawn's really pissed off about it as well, and she does some stuff. She says some things that kind of pisses Al off. You probably don't ever want to bring up Wanda.
Yeah, but this is the thing too. It's like, no talking about Wanda, and I'm gonna slam you through the fucking wall right now. Like, dude, she's married to another man, dude, and has a kid with her. Let her go, dude.
Right? It's been 10 years. All right. Like let's
my
move
wife.
There's also reason for this too. But anyway, go on.
No, I got you.
I like where because when I first read it, I was like, oh, the kiss. Why are we?
Yeah, now we know how to set the tone for Spawn. You talk about his wife, and he wants to make out with you. I think.
Right here. He's like, okay, let's set this up. So she basically says, you walk out of here, you're alone. You'll prove you're not worthy. That Wanda was right, not standing by your side. And then he, you fucking leave my wife out of this, and he's pissed off about it. And he goes and just like He's talking about blood, and he's talking about all this stuff, and he's angry.
Wait. Go up. No, we can't outrun Blood's vampires. Not unless we get our powers back, which none of us knows how to do, or we use desperate measures. Hang on to that as well.
So this is the desperate measures then.
Desperate, bold.
Yes.
And I still think he got washed.
That's all we've got left. And now I'm so worked up, I'm just going to make my move.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Go for it. I like that.
But this is the thing. Like, I didn't understand. Like have you ever kissed someone in your life with a mask on?
Well, you said that in the group, and I was like, that's a great point. But then I thought about, like, Al doesn't have a face anymore. He doesn't have lips. He just basically has teeth, right?
Metaphorically, I have.
Metaphorically. We'll have to dive into that more.
That's why he's like, so he doesn't have lips, but he squints his eyes.
Well, it's passion, right? I mean,
yeah.
Well, who kisses people with their eyes wide open?
Did they ever have a relationship? She's like flattered by his like ripped skin.
I was going to ask that if anybody in the chat knows that either. Did they ever have anything in the past where they were romantically inclined at all?
Not that I know of. I don't remember anything between the two.
Like, this would have made more sense with the other character, maybe. That they were with each other the last 10 issues. Like, I feel like we haven't seen She Spawn in forever.
No, she's way too young and kind of naive in a lot of ways.
Oh, no. Lyra?
Yeah, Lyra.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I know he had a relationship, or he at least banged Angela. If you read the Angela miniseries, they heavily,
I think we all wanted that,
allude to that in issue 2. Or is issue 3, one of those issues, they heavily say, allude to them getting it on there. So, but the character of She Spawn, I actually don't know too much about her. I know she popped up here or there. I don't know her origin. I don't know who she is.
Big and Scorched. Yeah, it's her book, and she's usually the main character. The last book I read, it was maybe a month or two ago after we did that Haunt one, and she's kind of like the main focus, but she hasn't been in the gear in a while, at least from what I read.
Okay. Well, it's interesting because you brought it up, Paul, that Brett draws it like she's kind of flattered, right? She's kind of flattered a little, like, you know, maybe a little embarrassed, a little turned on. But then she also says, emotions are hot right now, which cool. Let's do that. Let's go with that. But not this. Never. They'll never be an us. And I'm just like, was there ever an illusion that there was an us? You know, like that was news to me.
All right, one more pick. They don't have powers, but he cracks the wall when he throws her into it, and she's okay.
Well, okay.
Well, so he's still got a hint of strength.
He's got a version like of it. Like it's really low power.
Her spine's shattered, dude.
She doesn't have her powers. I feel bad for her too.
Well, they can still heal a little bit. Like they talk about it. They've already laid that groundwork. Like they can still heal and still do. You know, he can still run like a little bit faster than a human. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he has to run fast, right?
I'm gonna miss my bus. I gotta get to that.
Yeah, dude.
Don was asking a question. He said, "Wasn't this the chick that was trying to kill him a few years back?" Okay.
Yes.
See, I missed that whole run. If that was the case, I don't know a lot about.
She was an assassin.
Okay, and then she became a she spawn. Is this? This isn't. What was her name? Priest? Is it? This isn't Jessica Priest, is it?
Yeah.
This is Jessica Priest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Jessica Priest.
She's the one that retconned that actually killed Al.
Yeah, I'm positive. Wait, now I'm confused. Like, whoa. Just let me
all right,
type this up.
Keep going. Hold on, I'm Jamie in it.
Yeah. Google that. See if find out if that's the case. I mean, I could be completely.
I'm pretty sure it is now.
Yeah, she's Jessica Priest.
Yes.
Well, she's the chick that actually killed him in real life.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
How'd they switch that character from the black dude with the skull mask to
with Chapel
with red hair?
I can't remember how they retconned it, but I remember when the whole breakup between Liefeld and Image, Todd went and retconned it after that, so that you didn't have to have that connection with Liefeld characters.
This weird 2 pages, phenomenally drawn. Everything looks so cool. Everything could be like a little, literally everything is just amazing art all around here.
I like Sheldon Martin, member of the channel, by the way, says, "You want to defeat the vampires, we have to take desperate measures. We have to make out. I don't make the rules."
There's a reason for this, though. There's a reason for this.
There's a reason for the make out? I like it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You'll keep them all tight.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, here we go. He has a list of names to protect if Al doesn't make it back. So,
I'm on misery.
Hang on to that as well.
All right. Then we get this badass double page spread. If you guys haven't bought the actual issue, go get it, read it, because in person, looking at this double page spread, him all armored up, kind of low tech gear, but just it's badass shot. Just love the way the entire panel, the page is laid out. Panels. Oh yeah, here we go.
Dude, you should see.
Look at that.
Dude.
I got your stream.
This is sick.
I got your channel streaming on my projector on the wall here.
Oh, nice.
That double page is beautiful. On the
wall. You got it blown up?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's flipping gorgeous. The colors just bang.
Yeah, no, as soon as I saw that, I stared at that for a while. I love the pose. I love the way Brett Booth draws. Just everything just seems so smooth and effortlessly when he poses a character.
And remember, guys, $2.99. You're picking up this amazing book, and when you post about it, you got to tag the channel in our streams and be like, "This is the reason why." And make sure you tag Todd and Brett so they know the reason why you pick up Spawn is because of us.
That's right. Yeah, that's a great point. Tag the channel, tag the show, hashtag the Spawn review. Do whatever you got to do. I do have to hit up Brett. He said he would come on after 360 or 361.
This would have been a good one with this art. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of want to get him on when we don't have to actually review a book, because I'd like to just be able to talk to him, see where he's at now that he's been on the book.
He likes to talk.
He definitely likes to talk.
Yeah.
You got to keep him on track for the actual Spawn conversation, because
it's awesome. I love it.
If Kayla gets in the conversation or in the chat, she'll direct him to dinosaurs and stuff. And we got because as soon as he get on the topic he really enjoys, it's like, all right, let's pull it back. Specifically, let's talk about Spawn. No, but Brett said he would come on, so I'm just working on getting that scheduled and figuring that out. But we'll get Brett on and talk about this, especially now that as soon as this book came out, as soon as we knew that Spawn was getting his powers back, I texted Brett and I was like, dude, blah blah blah. And he said, he's getting to draw what he was wanting to draw when he first took the book over. Because he said it before, like he was looking so much into drawing Spawn with the ability that you have with his cape and like all the kind of aesthetics visually you can do. And as soon as he takes over the book, they take his power away and he can't do what he wanted to do, So here we are a year later. He can actually finally jump back into it. So,
and Thomas said it would be a year before we see, any action. So,
shout out to K Ojo. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. Issue 7 vibes a little bit. Yes. Yeah. Good point. The cover of issue 7, the classic Tom McFarlane cover when he's all geared up, it does have that feel to it. Absolutely. Whoops.
There's an Easter egg there too. If you scroll down
in here,
yeah, right there. You see the castle there.
Yeah.
You see the green. It's kind of shaped into a crown.
A crown. Yeah. That's cool. I actually didn't catch that until you just pointed that out.
Yeah,
I thought it was just kind of like
the crown merch
energy. But yeah. No, that's cool.
The crown merch all day.
So I guess apparently he sends out a message to meet BLUDD. Al does, and so this is interesting, right? And again, it probably plays into what we're about to go into the next scene, which I thought was dope. By the way, it was badass.
No, he doesn't get a messenger comes to him.
Yeah,
the guy.
Okay, I must have misread that then.
No, he's waiting. He's waiting for BLUDD. And there's a messenger that finally comes, and then he gives the word that,
No,
okay, I completely misread that.
Basically ratting him out like, oh, he's here, go kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's I completely misread that when I read it. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense because that was another thing in the issue. I was just like, what? Like that doesn't. I don't get it. So we get to see Nyx again. Haven't seen her in her full form since issue 350.
She got that Spawn outfit though.
She does. Yeah. I noticed that. Yeah. So I'd have to go back and look at issue 350 again when she dons her
it's
first.
red now. It's like red. You see the spikes.
Right, because it was more purple and shit before, right? It was more like other kind of colors.
It was the earth tones like she had before.
Yeah, and now she's kind of really donning like a Spawn kind of symbiote costume or whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting. So these guys basically they're just letting them know what they did earlier on in the day.
And then the one detail about that Simmons Hellspawn has not committed fully despite your latest warnings. So,
and if you remember in issue 359, she comes back in that zombie avatar body of hers and basically warns him to stay out of it because she's been working on something for decades because of the time difference. I keep putting on
this part right here. Why? And then bold letter. Why does that creature not comprehend the futility of his moves? But no matter, he will fall in line, if only to be useful to my plans. Hang on to that as well.
I was just going to say that makes sense in correlation to the farther we get.
Yes,
which
again, starting to piece together, It's starting to come together.
The teeth in panel 4 is sick. The fourth panel when it has a like close up like that. I just they didn't need to put it there, and he's like, "Yo, let me put this here." I thought it looked crazy.
Yeah,
it just shows that they're more monster like,
But this again is. I love whether it's McFarlane now taking over from McConville writing before, and we've talked about this whole 10 issue to year run that we've done now since issue 350, where there's been some issues where it kind of almost felt a little convoluted, especially if you try to tie it in with any of the other titles. It just seemed weird. But the whole point had been like, what the hell is going on with Nyx? We haven't really heard from her. What is her plan? We start getting just a feel of it last issue when she shows up. And we know she's got like a bigger purpose going on now. And so now we're getting just a little bit of a hint, a little more of a hint on what is actually going to happen. And the way this book ends, again, I want to talk about that when we get there. But it opens up a lot of possibilities. And again, it's going in a different direction than I thought we were going to be going in the story, which I like. I'm all for it. Yeah, kudos to Adelsa Corona. Yep, absolutely. Shout out. Great inker. Just a great team on this entire book.
This part right here, too. Then make sure Simmons is around to do his part when the time comes. So again, an Easter egg. So
now, do you think that that's referenced now, or if it's a reference to something that's going to happen?
Like something that's going to happen. So now we get to him getting back to his like old military tactics here of scooping and scouting on when's the best time to jump in on BLUDD, and BLUDD attacks him from behind because he's like, this is weird, there's no details, kind of thin here. The security detail at BLUDD's is corporeal is usually robust, and it's thin, right? There's like barely anyone there.
Hardly anybody there.
Blood attacks. Go, and you can continue.
Before we do, I just thought it was kind of funny. Like, I like the way Brett drew this, because it's like, he's like, he begins to think something isn't right, and he's like, maybe he thinks he needs to reposition himself, and he just kind of nonchalantly walks.
Lets down his guard.
Now, maybe that was on purpose. Maybe like you're talking about, there's a bigger play here.
Nah, I think he got tossed, dude. Look, he's like, dude, look at all the guns, dude. Look at all the guns, and he knows that if he dies, he dies. Because the truth is, we'll get to that actually.
We'll get here, but like Gooch was saying, he gets jumped from behind by Blood. You don't know it at this point. Obviously, it's Blood. I really love this shot here of him picking up this pole. Like, it's subtle and it's simple, but just the cinematography. That's what you want to call it.
Pipe.
Yeah, it's just you get exactly what's going to happen, right? Just by that little subtle bit, and then boom.
And I love this part because, and I feel like they don't do it as much. But he's like, my shoulder's completely shattered, like can't move. And now he's fucked. And he only can use his left arm, which has never happened to him. He could usually just heal or some shit. And now he's actually just watching this guy talk. I thought it was cool. It was like, kill and then let me talk. And then, so.
And so I love how Todd, he does this. You got to really read it and pick, and he lays these key words here, like, what were you going to do? And then bold, offer me, and then something, and then you've got nothing. I want accept your life. It's all any in bold of you from heaven or hell have to offer. That is a very bold statement right there. So I just want to throw that out there, because it's also resonates to and fills in for the ending here.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And I was actually very happy to see this scene play out the way it did, because I was worried that they were going to kind of rush the ending of Blood to get back to the overall big story. Spawn's power is back, Nick's in this bigger aspect.
You were so wrong.
And I was completely wrong, which is why I was like, every time I feel like I know what they're going to do, they do something else. I was happy about it.
And Blood looks so cool. So originally he was always Mr. Button Up. I got the fucking chest showing. I look like a loser. And then now he's like a badass.
I was gonna say, every time we've seen him up to this point, he's been very relaxed in a robe, living the high life, because he's conquered Earth and he's conquered heaven and hell at this point.
And that's why we thought he was going to get bitched. And that's why he did.
I love this because Brett worked on Red Hood and the Outlaws, I think, for a few issues.
Yeah, a couple issues,
Bizarro Superman. He has that Bizarro Superman look to him, and I'm like, oh, that's sick. I love it.
Yep, good point. I can see that. So, I mean, kudos to Al. It gets a couple shots off,
but he knows that.
But I was just gonna say, but again, like this next page here, this next panel, it's all for naught. I mean, he's a fucking vampire, so the shots aren't doing anything.
He's like, my shoulder, I can't feel it. It's shattered. He pulls out the only gun he can hold now, because all of his guns are two-handed guns. And now he's fucked.
I like this where Blood says, do you think for one moment we'd share our power with you, with anyone? Just this was really reminiscent of the Batman Bane fight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like this straight up just ass whooping of a super powered character, and our hero has been beat down and worn down for the last year. Yeah. And they go through this fight, and he just wrecks them. I thought that was very reminiscent. I don't know if they were influenced by it or not, but that's the first thing that popped in my head.
Well, he set the bait and lured him in, right?
Yeah, kind of just like bait.
But, and I'll put a heavy butt on that, because I am an ass man, but there's a heavy butt there.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's getting tossed, and then he fucking murks him, picks up another pipe.
Again, he rips his pipe off.
Picking up random objects and fucking using them.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, it's such an awesome fight. Just the impact shot. Again, Brett is just great at action. He can draw anything good, but I mean, we jump into that action, and it's just, man, I love it. And the big red hour, this is our time. Like, it's, he's still very much has a plan to take out heaven and hell. Like, it's when we thought maybe there was any kind of alliance going on, like, it seems like it's that's put to rest at this point. Like, this is very much, he is still straight up vampires rule. yo, that's it. Yeah, okay. Just a stomp to the face. Boom.
Okay, so we've got to this point right here. What are your thoughts, Joe, when you first read this? Like, what were you thinking?
Okay, this is where I started to get confused. And the reason why I got confused is you would have thought, I'm like, why is Blood leaving? Right? Like, why didn't he finish the job? It didn't make any sense to me that he would just show up real quick, beat the shit out of Al. Yeah, he might look like he's dead, but in a situation where if you really wanted to kill Spawn and take him out of the game, out of the playing field, you would have like taken his head, taken something.
But his ego's so high, he just threw
maybe that's
a fucking giant metal rod through his chest. There's no healing no more.
Who's gonna save him? God's not gonna save him. And Nyx is like no one's seen Nyx, heard or seen Nyx.
And this was the thing. So I was wondering, and the whole cliffhanger to this issue I thought was really cool. And it started to tie in some things. I'm like, okay, I didn't expect it to go there because I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, all right, what's going to happen now? Who's going to show up? I really didn't know at this point. And it basically, the way Todd's writing it here, where it's being narrated, is basically he's dead. There's like his pulse hasn't, he hasn't had a pulse in like 24 hours or wherever it's been. He's just been stuck in this thing, pinned down to this roof, lifeless, bleeding out for hours now. And then you get this really interesting scene here.
Yes.
Where, okay, we got another page to go. Here we go. Just shows up on there.
You got a murder. You got a murder of crows indicating death.
Yep.
Which is beautifully done in the panels. I love it.
Again, something just popped in my head, and then I'll ask you this question when we get there because I just something just occurred to me. Interesting. Something just popped in my head. But yeah, so she shows back up in her avatar zombie body, which disintegrated in the last issue, by the way. So apparently she was able to get it back. But we end an interesting sound effect here too, where she pulls out all the shit. It's just like slurp or slup. Slup. I can't even do that. But basically, you goddamn fool, And here we go. The ending of the book, or the ending of the issue. Beautiful. So I warned you this would happen.
Exactly.
Now, and she did,
Yeah.
Here's the thing that just dawned on me, Gooch, and then I'm gonna let you go with this, and you tell me that's what you've been chopping at the bit to say. So, if he's basically back in his human state, and then he just died, does that mean he goes back to hell? And now he's in like where Malvolgia originally was able to endow him with that power. We are back to that point now where
she's
endowing him with her power, just like he did originally from issue 1 by Malvolgia.
So here's the thing. So he left Lyra. I'm doing my own thing. You go do your own thing. Because he knows he's sacrificing himself. He's taking a huge gamble, and he doesn't want her to be a part of it.
Right. Okay.
Goes to She-Spawn. Final moments. Here's the list. Has an emotional moment because he knows this is it. This could be flip a coin. That's why we see that emotional moment. It looks cringe when you read it at first.
Right.
At first. So now you understand it. This could be all for nothing, or the gamble could pay off. Get to the end. He's going after blood. He knows, and he's like making it look like I have no chance in this battle. I'm sacrificing myself to take one shot at you, and blood takes him out. Done deal.
Just boom, done.
Nyx comes, grants him the powers. Now, knowing that Spawn knows Nyx wants him to be part of the army, but there's caveats involved, right? Contracts, verbal contracts that are going to be involved.
Right.
So he does this. There's no caveats. There's no contracts. She's doing it because of her ego, and he doesn't have to follow anything she has to say. So now he's getting all his powers back without any strings involved. That's how we're going to get into the next books. That's how I love this.
Okay. See, I was thinking the opposite thing. I was thinking that if she gives him his powers back, there would be strings involved. And the fact that I'm giving you the powers, now you kind of work for me. That's what I was thinking.
But there has to be that verbal contract. Like there has to be that thing that I'm giving.
Oh, that's a good point because they made that with Malbolgia.
That's the part of being in heaven. That's part of hell, right? You have to be willing to sacrifice, like give up yourself.
That's
your
a great
soul.
point.
You got to give yourself to Satan or whoever, Malbolgia or whoever. And once you sign that contract, you're in their grasp. He doesn't have to. That's the beautiful thing about this. That is like the twist. I'm like, fuck, Todd. That's so brilliant. Really well done.
So he got his powers back
that's
without having to have any kind of servitude at this point. Go ahead, Paul.
She opens up the dead zones because I read Gunslinger, and Gunslinger's getting his ass kicked, and all of a sudden he gets powers right before he fucking dies. He gets his powers back. And Gunslinger, he gets his powers back.
Okay, so that's a good thing too, because I have not had a chance to like follow up.
He's fighting. He was about to lose.
Don't say anything. I haven't caught up in the spot.
Okay,
But like, I gotta read that.
He gets his powers back. So unless it's another 5 books away, we know the timelines aren't always the same.
Yeah,
right.
But regardless, he is getting his powers back right now. If it's either all the dead zones are gone or he's just getting his powers back. But it looks
Again, they're trying to prepare for this war, right? With blood and with heaven. So they need everyone they can get their hands on for this war.
Look at that last page after that. Oh, it's still 0.
Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, so Dennis is with the gooch on this. I'm down. Like, okay, there. So we are 0 again.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the other.
Boom, back to 0. Just like issue. Yeah, just full. Yeah. Okay, and so we know. I mean. We know by different spoilers. I don't even know if they're spoilers that he's getting his powers back in 361 fully. Brett even said that 361 is going to be the start of him being fully powered again, and we're going to go forward with that storyline. So I actually didn't catch this when I was reading it the first time, but that went to 0, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so 0, and then maybe the next one it's like maxed, and then he's maxed again. He can kick ass, but I would assume though, this is just me assuming that she can easily also take his powers away after giving it to him. So clearly he's going to work for her. I still think it's going to tie into, because the curse in issue 359 was like, oh, the heavens, look at the heavens, unless now he makes a deal with God somehow. I don't know, but this is all going to connect.
I do want to talk about that here in a second. I do. So hold on to that, Paul. But Dennis Kelly says, I think Nyx was going to give him his powers back, but Spawn forced her to do it early, maybe. And what kind of tying in what Paul was saying, that if you think about when Malbolgia couldn't do anything to Spawn after he gave him the powers, so it's like I don't think you can give it to him and then take it back. It's like once they've got it, and then it's their free will if they want to rebel and all that kind of stuff. So
that's the whole thing, the heaven and hell concept of that contract, right? Like you're in heaven, you're giving yourself up, you're releasing your soul to God, right? Same thing with hell. When you give yourself up to hell, that's there's this binding contract. So she is willingly giving herself or giving her powers to Spawn with no contract, but it's his to keep because she's willing to give it to him. So like that's the caveat there that I really like with this. So I think that's gonna throw a wrench when it comes to this war, when everything starts to come to fruition here with what's going to happen in the next, I would assume next 10 books, because it's going to be
the next year, the next story.
Next year. So
this kind of this isn't really like a end to the story arc that started in 350. It's kind of like a midway, but I would say it's the end of this kind of run because it's the end of the powerless, grounded Spawn. So now we're going to go back to kind of more of the original feel of the character going forward, and I think you're going to see stuff on a more grander scale now, as we're going to see what's going on with Green World, what's going on with heaven, the vampires, hell, all this kind of stuff, if the dead zones are being opened back up again. And now let's see what really happens. Travis brought up a point. He said, isn't Nyx part of Green World? She was until she took the throne. So she was part of Green World, but as soon as she took the throne in 350, she is just part of hell now, the Queen of Hell.
So
I
think that little Easter egg where the crown over the castle there, heavy is the crown. I think we're going to see a shift. I don't think we're going to see Nyx in the near future, where I think a possibility is Spawn actually sits at the throne at some point.
Interesting.
And like what she's going to do, obviously, is try to bring him on board, where it's going to be either like through conversation or through muscle, which indicates why we saw the guy lifting the rock. I don't know what his name, her her right hand men, showing the strength and showing the power that they have. So we're going to see probably internal battles within hell. We're probably going to see internal battles in heaven soon. The fight, to get prepared for this big battle, and then we're going to see Blood thinking that he's like he is the king right now, thinking that because he has no idea Nyx is even about.
Right.
So So
which again, that's his mistake for leaving Al the way he did.
Because he was dead. Technically, he was dead. Like there was like where would he think like, well, heaven's not going to come for him? No,
that's true. Like I said, I would have taken a trophy or something, cut his head off, brought it back, made an example out of it.
Yeah,
and just to leave his body there for who knows, like I just that. Paul brought a point that maybe it was just ego. I thought that was interesting that he just left him there, just like, okay, I killed him, he's dead, let me fly off, I'm victorious. I thought that was like a mistake, and again, it could be an ego with the character of just leaving that there. And now he gave an opportunity for Nyx to come in.
It's all ego
and do her thing.
That's the beautiful thing when you're like, come on, man, like you're like you got all these gods and demons like wanting power. They crave power and they have egos. It's like that fighter mentality. You can't think anything negative. So you're like, when Blood kills Spawn, it's like, I finished the fucker. I don't need a trophy. It's done. I'm the king. So
Steve says, I don't want Al repowered right now. I'm digging the no power status quo and like to see them cook with this or with that for a little while. I get what you're saying. I think I'm kind of ready for him to go back to being powered. Like I don't want Al to go back to being like the crazy super powered character that he was there for a while, because I think they overpowered him a little bit, in my opinion, with all the stuff that he had control of and like all this kind of stuff. I'd like to see him have a version of his powers back to where he's formidable again, but not like the OP character that he kind of became there for a little bit. But I'm ready for the old school Spawn to come back.
Steve, if you really like the him being normal, pick up King Spawn. So all the last issues, he's normal as well. So King Spawn has all that, and it's all side quests, which are really cool books.
Thanks, brother.
Don says, "Damn, Gooch, you're on point with all this, making me see and think. Love it, bro." Yeah, absolutely.
No problem, brother.
I like the scenario for a new test. Heaven and hell are just leaving. Oh, Earth to fend for themselves. Okay. Paul.
Yeah.
You were talking about kind of referencing back to we see at the end of issue 359 where we see the curse, and he kind of talks about the light of the Lord shining, right? And in that scene, he's kind of chained up, which seems kind of like Spawn's chains, and he's looking up at a being, which we're assuming of light. And you contemplated, theorized that could be Spawn and could be like, maybe the return of the heavenly Spawn that we've seen before in the past with like the angel wings and everything. Now that we've got to another issue down and we see that he's getting his powers back from Nyx, from hell. What are you thinking when it pertains to that last page of issue 359? Are we going to see that wrapped up in 361, or do you think that's going to be something that drag on for a little bit? The greater story
they could do would be, it's either A, we go back to that, or B, we're gonna see what's gonna happen to Spawn for him to regain his powers. Like, for all we know, she's doing this, and then he's gonna wake up, he's in hell. And then remember, hell is a lot longer time. So they said they were battling for what, tens of 20s of years.
Now that would be
down in hell.
Thoughts.
We can have a whole 2 issues of him doing the trials and tribulations to be her bitch. You know what I mean? And then he gets out, then maybe something happens, etc. Maybe this is the next build up.
He doesn't. I don't think he needs to do that. I don't think he needs to do that though, because he didn't relinquish himself to her. She just gave it to him.
But the thing is, we don't know if she is yet. It looks like it's exerting out of him, not going into him.
Well, I guess we'll find out next issue. I don't want to jump.
I'm assuming just because we know
it looks like it's going in him, like it's all kind of But I mean,
and we know he's going to get his powers back. I mean, it's pretty well out there that that's going to happen in the next issue.
Who then is the Heaven character? Because the only Heaven character that they're talking about is God.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I Curse was making a deal with Spawn, right?
Yeah.
Spawn and Lyra walked out of the door and said, like, that's ridiculous. So now Curse is probably going to turn his eye to another individual. Now that could have been Gunslinger. That could have been anyone else at that, because if he was found at a dead zone, that could have been a Gunslinger. So I mean, he's going to turn to other individuals because he's like, okay, Spawn's not the option. Then let's turn his sights on something.
Definitely not Gunslinger.
Okay. Now that we bring this up, let me bring up that last page of 359.
I saw him powered up.
Let's see exactly what.
Well, that's what I mean. But if he was at a dead zone, then Curse might know a way to get how he can get his powers back, which they're not telling until after this. But I don't know. I have to catch up on Gunslinger, so
read that one. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I love Gunslinger. Gunslinger's like my fave.
I've been behind on that. Let me bring up the last page of 359.
Like I could pick up any issue of Gunslinger or Kingspawn if it's like every other issue and it's still like, okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, and then you just move on.
Yeah.
All right, so here we have
whoa.
In all the chaos our actions would unleash onto the world that night when the Lord's light shined upon us. So this was the last page of issue 359 before we got to this issue. And this is what we theorized on last week about who is the character, where the light's coming from. So I just want to go back to this real quick for reference and just see. So it is just basically that he says that, but definitely could look like possibly Spawn's chains. So my thing is, I like what you were saying, Paul, about the fact that maybe Nyx takes him to hell after this for whatever reason. Maybe there's something he has to do when he's down there to get his powers back. Maybe there's some kind of deal she's trying to make with him at the time. I don't know. But if he does go to hell, the possibility of having a time jump for some period of time before he goes back to Earth.
Time jump meaning hell's longer. He could be there for a year when it's only minutes up on Earth.
Well, a month it would be like, because they said 3 years.
You know what I mean?
Months.
Like whatever the
right. Yeah. Well, yeah, that could be too, because we know that Nyx has been working for decades.
Because
he's whatever plan.
He's saying the farewell, like, if I don't come back, you have to do this. You have to
protect these people. Here's a list of
and by the time he comes back, it's wartime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the possibilities of where you go from here and how you get to that last page of 359.
It's great.
It's very, I love it. Like it's
one of the
this whole run has made me every single issue, speculate and just think about where the hell they're going. And again, every time I think of where I know where they're going something different. And I love this run.
Like the polar opposite.
Yep.
That's what we've been talking about.
360 is probably one of the best books I've read in a long time. Like it was awesome.
Yes.
That was throwback to the early Spawn days, like the 30s and 40, like books through the 30s and like 20s, the 40s. Like it was just, I'm like, oh my God, this is brilliant. And again, I'm going based on my opinion and how I interpret it. But
a lot of the stuff you interpreted made a lot of sense. Like I was glad that we had this show and we could kind of talk through it, because there were some things I was kind of confused that didn't make sense to me. And you kind of putting it out there like that, it makes a lot more sense now.
Well, that's why I had to reread 359 too, because I was just like, I knew this was going to happen. I was like, okay, let me reread this, because honestly, if I didn't reread 359, I would have forgot that was how it ended.
Yeah. I probably should have reread it as well, just to kind of get the flow going into this issue, because I expected us to kind of jump into the events of the end of 359 instead of going, like, I knew they were probably going to do a catch up but I didn't realize they were going in this direction. You know, again, we talked last issue. I was thinking a bigger epic scale battle was going to happen in 360 to 361. Like that's what I thought we were going to. So going in this direction is really interesting to see where they're going, especially the way that Gooch is kind of putting it and just making me think about it. The idea of that whole setup, that whole kind of sacrificial a lamb that Al just kind of did, him seemingly going to be getting his powers back from Nyx, willingly giving the powers to him instead of being asked, no contracts involved. I'd never even thought about that until you brought that up. So that is really, really interesting. Because that would be a first for him. Yeah. Right? Because he was still always under the contract with Malbolgia, even though he killed Malbolgia and did all that kind of stuff. There was still that contract. This would be a first where he is just going to have the powers without a contract. When you brought that up, that blew my mind. Because I'm just like, wow. Okay. That's, like that's cool. I never thought about that.
I had a thought and I just had a brain fart. Damn it. Todd writing. I am Don. I am excited for the one thing now I got it. The one thing I really truly appreciate, especially with the way comics are just kind of plummeted with storytelling. I fucking appreciate the story Bible that they have for this series. Like they have things planned out a year or two in advance. Like they have their arcs and the way they see they have a direction. I appreciate that more than anything with Todd and company, because so many, even we see it in the movies and TV series and the comics, and it's a mess. It's a complete mess. It doesn't tie together at all. And have something so beautiful as this, and every book you're just like, why does it got to end this week? I got to wait a month for the next freaking book, and it's killing me because it's done fucking great.
Yeah, they've knocked it out of the park with this ever since 350, or at least it's probably been before that. But I say that because that's where I kind of came back on board and really interested in Spawn was 350. And this entire year run that they've done has been great. Like every book so far has had a cliffhanger. It's I've been excited for the next issue. It's made me want to go kind of pick up some of the other issues, even though I'm not as dedicated to reading all the other titles like I am the main title. It's definitely got me excited for this entire Spawn universe that they have, especially the direction that they're going. And and now again, here we are. I agree with Don. 375. When you think of the milestone number books, right? You 1, 25, 50, 75, 100. So we're right smack dab in the middle of that right now. We had the big 350, and now, you're right. That's a great point, Don. We're probably working up to a really big, spectacular, 375 that's going to set us up for 400. So very, very exciting. They're doing everything right now with this title. I love it. It's still my favorite book that comes out every month. Best book on the shelf, I think. If you guys aren't reading it, if you are encouraged by this show to go check it out, you'll backtrack a little bit. All you have to do is really go back to 350, maybe 349, does a little wrap up there, get into 350, get into this main story, and catch up where we are right now. Because I think you are absolutely going to dig it if you haven't been reading Spawn in a while. You don't need to go back and pick up 300 and some odd issues to know what the hell is going on. Just backtrack about 10 issues, and I think you'll be good.
I got Erwin reading Spawn, and he fucking loves it. He can't put it down. Yeah, nice. He loves it.
Steve said, who would be your guys' dream artist on a book that hasn't drawn Spawn yet?
Easy. That's Joe, come on. I think we have the same answer. Silvestri.
If you take issue 25 off the table, because that was just a guest appearance, then yes, Silvestri for sure.
Yeah. Daniel Warren Johnson. That's it.
Daniel Warren Johnson, huh?
He
Interesting.
kills it with Transformers. His Wonder Woman's outstanding. Wonder Woman Dead Earth is amazing. It's like one of the best Black Label books, and he kills it with Wonder Woman. It was the first book I ever read of Wonder Woman. I was like, wow, it's actually a good fucking book. And he kills it with Transformers, and he kills it with all of his indie books. So I think he would do really well with that. And then honorary mention, I would like to see. I like how Ryan Stegman drew Venom and Vanish. I would like him to do a nice run on this.
I'm going to throw a little nugget. I'd like to see our boy Zach do it.
There you go.
Or Joe.
Me.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Me is the answer.
Yeah.
I see a Stephen Platt in there, a Joe Mad. Joe Mad would be cool. A little anime for it, but I do like Joe Mad quite a bit.
Big Gravy, yeah, Big Gravy would be a good one as well.
Yeah,
I told Thomas to get Big Gravy on there.
I'm gonna say, has Finch ever done anything?
I don't remember Finch. That would be a good one as well.
That would be if he hasn't, because again, Silvestri, I'd be down with Silvestri, but if you want to take him off the table because technically he didn't issue a spawn before.
Yeah, because he was working with Silvestri. Well. He didn't really do anything with McFarlane. So
yeah, so my thing would be Finch. For a guy that I haven't seen done anything yet, besides Brett Booth, who I absolutely love, David Finch, I would love to see come on and do a spawn run. Jim Lee, I'd be down to see that too, but I'd like to see Jim Lee maybe more, 2010, 2012 Jim Lee.
Yeah, okay.
He did some spawn covers, yeah. But I'm talking about like a
interior.
Run.
Yeah, like covers are one thing, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that'd probably be my answer. Guys, thank you for joining us for the first episode of 2025, the Spawn Review, episode 25. Look at that, 25. Issue 360 review we did. We'll be jumping back here, getting back onto a regular basis. We will at some point be diving into the first season of the HBO animated series. We're going to do it. Gooch is on my ass to do it, or he's going to do it. So I got to do it here.
If I was on your ass, you would know it.
Pause. So we're going to dive into the animated HBO series. The first season only had 6 issues or episodes, I think. So we're going to get into that here coming up. I'll let you guys know. We're going to be looking forward to issue 361. It's coming out in January. We're in January, February. And you get into the right year here. So really looking forward to that. So just keep coming back every Monday at 9. We'll be doing the Spawn review. Before we get out of here, though, I do want to throw this up here. We got one of Paul's books up here on, if you guys don't know, Project Naosis. Paul, what do you got with this?
Yeah, so we just did the Kickstarter. We had our biggest Kickstarter launch yet. I know there were some people that couldn't back. So I just dropped it on Friday morning. So you can get Project Naosis 0 to 5. So our newest installment is episode 5. You can grab that on here with all 3 covers, or you can grab all the catch-up tiers as well. This is our first Fund My Comic. We usually do all of our second chance campaigns on Indiegogo, but now we're going with Fund My Comic on this one. Nice. So you can get all of Project Naosis, and you can either get the volume 2, which is the first 2 issues, or you can get everything or one of the single issues. So $10 buy-in. We're already at $75. So $425 away, we hit goal and have another successful second chance, and this time at Fund My Comic.
Hell yeah.
And I show pages from all the books and stuff, so you guys can see like what you're walking into.
Yeah, definitely jump in on this. Really good price for all these books as well. Quality is great. I have not read them all, but I do have them, and I'm a very slow reader, but I will say this, the quality and art style is right up my alley with this. If you like the channel, everything we look at here, you're going to love these books. I mean, just look at this art right here by some of these artists on this book. Just fantastic. I mean, like this is the kind of stuff that is just kicking ass right now in the indie scene. If you have not backed Project Naosis, you need to get on it now. We do have links below to Paul's site, as well as to, I think I might have to update that campaign that's down there, but beautiful cover here by VK Marion, which if you guys haven't checked his art out before, definitely do it. It's besides being an awesome person, he's a fantastic artist as well. And just beautiful work, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Links below, guys. Definitely check that out. I don't know if I have any mods. I haven't seen any of the regular mods in the chat today. Dropping any links, but I will forgive them this time.
Some person.
He's doing it. Oh, I see. Yeah, some person's a mod in there. Yeah, drop some links, guys. Do us a favor. Appreciate you guys. Before we get out of here, guys, Reaper Destroyer. I need to change that page. It's not the page you guys need to see. I want to dox anybody. All right, here we go. Reaper Destroyer did cross $74,000 over the New Year's weekend, which I was very excited about. So shout out to all the people that backed the campaign, that continue to back. Reaching that milestone was huge for me. But more importantly, that 1,262 backers that are on the campaign, fantastic. I couldn't have asked for more. We are getting this book out as we speak. And when I mean we, I mean me, my wife, and my mom. So shout out to the three of us that are fulfilling this entire campaign and doing it as fast as we possibly can. Out of the 1,262 orders, we have a little over 100 out right now into people's hands, and we're constantly working as we go. We're going to be doing a stream Thursday at 8 or 10. I'll let you guys know the exact time. Where me and Rick Saylor, we're going to talk about a few things when it comes to the campaign. A few things I ran into with the issue-wise with some of the some printing errors that are being taken care of now, but that's going to delay one of the covers for a little bit. We'll talk about that when we get there and a few other things. But yeah, it's awesome. This book is getting out there. If you guys like Spawn, if you like the darkness, you're going to absolutely love this book. But it's got a very unique story to those characters. Like, it's not going to be a ripoff of Spawn or the darkness. I think I've created a very unique world and story that this character is going to exist in. But aesthetically, art-wise, this is going to be right up your alley. If you guys are new to Spawn or if you're an old Spawn head, you're going to definitely love this book. Check it out. Issue 1 is coming out now, or is out now. Going to be hitting everybody's hands, and we're going to be working on issue 2 pretty soon here. I'm going to launch that maybe in May is my target goal to launch Reaper Destroyer issue 2. So definitely check that out. Links are down below. I'm extremely proud of this book and how it turned out. And I've been getting a lot of good reviews. The people have put reviews out there. People are digging it, and that's making me even more excited for you guys to get out there and read it. So do it. Do it now. What's your name again? I have it categorized by that.
Paul.
Oh, me?
Maybe we'll go with that. There we go.
Yeah, Paul.
There we go. Thank
Paul,
you.
the man, the myth, the legend, creator and writer of Project Naosis, publisher of Visual Vibration, and your hero. We'll see you next time.
I like that. That's
Gotta
good.
love Paul. Gotta love him.
That was good.
I'm always ready for a promo, dude.
And Paul is definitely one of the best at doing promos.
Yeah.
Hands down. So 1,000%.
When you wake up in the morning and you say, hey, I really want some good content, discluding going on this show and going on Diabolical Souls, you will grab an issue of Project Naosis and read it and love it and then enjoy it.
Yes. Love it. Beautiful. Professional. Rick Saylor says, highly recommend the Destroyer tier. Yes, that is the all-in tier for $200. You get everything on the campaign, including a shot at a raffle for the original Jason Bascom 11x17 art, which we'll talk more about on Thursday when Rick and I stream. Before we get out of here, Gooch, I know you're a busy man. You got things going on. What can we look for that you have coming up?
Well, I just crossed the 23,000 subscriber limit.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, I very humbled and grateful everyone, supporting the channel. It's just taken off, and I appreciate every one of them that have joined. Last night we had a banger of a show. We had a great show. And we're going to continue with the animation block during the week, Tuesday to Thursday. Starting Tuesday, we go over Primal. Wednesday, right now, we're doing Star Wars on Wednesdays. We're doing the Skeleton Crew, reviewing that. And then Thursday, we're going to be doing Kaiju number 8, the anime, the very popular anime and manga. And then on Friday, you can catch me by myself Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m. Eastern. You can come join me as I talk about some of the fun pulp culture events or articles that have happened throughout the week and some other little things, little nuggets for an hour, turning Guccianese. That's the thing. And then, of course, Sunday night, late night with Gooch and Gang. So Paul's been there. We had a blast. We sold some books for him, and we're going to be getting this guy on there right away.
I'll be there. I'm coming soon.
And we have a lot of fun talking about the movies, TV series, all the events that are happening in the world of comics and pulp culture. So swing on by, and thank you. And Guccianese subtitles are available.
I like that. Links are down below, everybody. Go subscribe to everybody's channels down there. Do not miss out on those opportunities. Chat, we love you. Congrats on the 20K, says Dennis. Yeah, that's a hell of an accomplishment.
Oh, Don, don't you worry. We'll be ripping the Spider-Man cartoon really hard.
I was going to say, it's coming. I got to imagine.
Yeah.
Bisexual Norman Osborn, that's all up your alley.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I took one look at that, and I was just like, I'm out. Yeah. Like, there's no hope for that whatsoever.
And fortunately, I'll have to watch it just to review.
I'm definitely going to watch it.
He'll go through the pain of watching it just so you guys don't have to. So
yeah,
that's the sacrifice this man is willing to make, everybody.
Paul.
All right, till next time, Monday, 9 o'clock, we'll be doing the Spawn review again. Appreciating Comic Book Art Live. We'll be coming back at some point. I'll let you guys know what's going on with that and some of the other shows that will be coming up in 2025. It's going to be a hell of a year. Go get Project Naosis. Go get Reaper Destroyer. Go check out Sean's book, Type 1. That's out there as well. Sub to the Gooch, and we'll see you guys all next week. Until then, be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to you later.
Stay Gooch.
Hell are you? Spawn. You sent me to hell, Jason. I'm here to return the favor. I'm feeling strange, trapped in the grave. All alone, I'm running my own skin. So see if I say, a choker restraint.